Hey everyone, welcome back to CJRC YouTube channel. We talked about, once we got the car off the jig, there's a lot of really detailed stuff that we'd be doing, and it doesn't necessarily look like a lot's getting done, but the smaller stuff is actually what takes the time. In today's video, we got the shifter mounted, we got a lot of weight tabs added. People want to ask, why do you add weight to the car? Well, there's a lot of reasons. One of the reasons being you have to meet class weight to make rules. Another reason is sometimes you have to move weight around depending on track conditions. Whether you're running big tire, small tire, track's good, the track's bad. There's a lot of reasons, and we'll get into that a little more once he starts racing the car. We'll explain that. Also, they got the evacuation hoses fitted, the drain put on the bottom of the frame rails, a lot of other little stuff, power on-off switch. Not everyone puts a handle inside the car. We put a handle inside the car because there's been times, myself personally, I've been racing, someone forgets to turn my power on, someone forgets to turn my power off. Or if it's just an emergency and the driver wants to shut the power off, you crash, or for whatever reason you need to shut the power off inside the car, it's good to have that. Also, some fire pull handle stuff, a lot of little details. So we'll go through a lot of stuff today, and hope you guys like the video.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be right there. Definitely can't be back here.
Obviously his arms are a lot longer than yours, but
when you're strapped in, my fingertips should be grabbing that thing. So if his arm's longer, that's good.
You don't think we should go back in here? Well, we can always flop this too, so it can go all the way up to here, all the way back to there.
Wait, we're putting 3/4
yeah,
tube in.
we could go back.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't think much.
Comfortable.
Because if you put it here and he likes it farther forward, we could go here. We could flip that to there. If he wants it farther back, we could flip it the other way.
I'd probably want that thing about halfway if it was me. But now his arm's going to be longer. Yeah. But is it going to be that much longer?
I don't think it's that much.
Yeah, if you're back here like this and you're strapped in, you can't.
Yeah, you don't. I don't think you want to be totally.
Well, then maybe we
out of room. I say go about here.
You're never going to be in park whenever you're having to do something.
No, I'd say go somewhere like right there, and then he could put it. Then you could flip it and go forward, or you could flip it and go back. It's got quite a bit of adjustment.
Oh, okay. So there is adjustment there.
Yeah, they make it where it'll do a few different things there. You go the middle, the front, the back.
All right, so we're looking like probably 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches from this surface to the center.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that'll work.
Yeah, I'll make it 1.25 inches.
Yeah, right now it's harder for you, like because of this. Yeah. But he's also going to be. His arm will go kind of clear that, you know what I mean?
Right, well, yeah, okay.
So.
Yeah, we can do that. On 1.25 inch back center of it.
Perfect. Did it solid and then drilled the hole so it's like 1/8 inch wall. That way it's set on the lip, and then you just turned it down to fit in here.
Let me go see what we got.
I just wanted to say, actually I'm gonna let Danny say what he found yesterday. Danny, tell him what you found yesterday.
1 1/8 inch cutter.
That we've had.
That's been here for probably not as long as I have, but a while.
So everybody that was on me about the 1/8 notcher, see, Danny changed his glasses and he found it.
I never hardly have to use it. And it evidently was underneath one of the notchers that I don't use very much, and I went over there the other day looking for a 1 inch, and I looked down and I saw something that was about a 1 inch, but it was bigger on the outside than the shank, and I went, no way. Picked it up and looked at it, sure enough, 1 1/8 inch, been here the whole time.
So we have an 1 1/8 notcher.
We have the 1 1/8 cutter, we don't need one.
When you want to tune into something great, sometimes you got to tune out the noise around you, and that's why I'm going to tell you how Raycon's everyday earbuds just got even better. If you haven't pulled the trigger on a pair of Raycons, or even if you have and you're in the market for another pair because they're just that good, now's the time to check them out because they just launched an upgraded model of their best-selling everyday earbuds. Raycon offers a 30-day happiness guarantee, so what are you waiting for? See what all the fuss is about. They have a 32-hour battery life, with a new quick charge function, which gives you 90 minutes of battery life with just 10 minutes of charging. They have active noise cancellation and are IP66 weatherproof rated and sweat resistant. They also have some pretty cool colors. I have the carbon black. I really like the forest green, and they have a few others to choose from. Also, if you're hard on your stuff, they offer a protective case. Not only does it protect your earbuds, but they look pretty good as well. These are by far the most comfortable earbuds I've ever tried, and I've tried quite a few. I love wearing my earbuds when I'm mowing the yard. And with these, you sweat, you don't worry about them falling out. They have active noise cancellation, so when you're mowing the yard, you don't hear the lawnmower, or in the shop, it's really noisy. You can still hear your music or whatever you like to listen to. Click the link in the description box below, or go to buyraycon.com/CJRace to get 15% off your Raycon purchase and free shipping. And a big thanks to Raycon for sponsoring this video.
Nice little tiny thin piece of titanium that was left on there. Now I'm going to pull on that thing. And I'm pulling as hard as I can pull on it, and it will not, there, finally broke. And it didn't even cut me. But I'm saying that's how tough that metal is. If that was steel, it had broke a long time ago. All right.
Still good the other way?
Well, that shouldn't change anymore. 0.5.
Which way does it need to go?
Need to hit that corner, or hit that edge.
There's no corner on round stuff.
You know what I mean. 0.3, close enough.
It's good this way? Double check that.
Yeah. 1.2.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, wow, we can probably, how much you got in the well yet? Like, well, just take it out. Take it off? Yeah. Take one off.
And all remaining thing that we have to do to is we'll wind up drilling a hole through this black aluminum piece into the titanium and out the other side, wherever he wants to position it. That's totally up to the driver. We can drill the outer one anytime as long as we know where we'd like to have the pin. And then whenever he positions it where he wants to, we just drill into the titanium and that sets it. But all it is a 3/4 stub. It just welds onto the 3/4 tube. It's real simple. Nothing too fancy about that.
So I'm just doing a quick check, just making sure all the threads on these weld nuts are still are good, that we don't need to tap anything before I get these installed in the car. These are weight bar tabs. We put close to 20 tabs on the chassis in any given spot to try to make the driver able to move weight around where they want to, when they need to. Some of the tabs we use as a standard width for our weight bars that we make. We make these in a standard width, but in some cases we'll make them a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit wider, depending on the location and what the customer needs. Weight is a big deal with these cars. 5 or 10 pounds in the wrong spot could really send these cars out of whack, make them really unhappy and not work correctly. In the rear, underneath the deck lid, and then 4 to 6 up the tail section, above and around the drive shaft. So 20 or more. Do you think I'm better off centering on the X in the door, center there, or center in the doorway?
Well, this one over here, you're kind of limited because this sticks out. So you just got to kind of center it up with these if you want to, or go all the way one way. I don't know. I wouldn't really worry. I just try to get it center what looks good.
Yeah, I'm definitely limited here, Danny.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just center it up like that and be done with it. I think that's kind of what I did. It's going to be extra. That line's going to be close.
Does it go down or does it go up?
It would have to go up.
The clamp goes up?
No, yeah, the clamp goes, wait a minute, the clamp might go down.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, if it does, you got all kinds of room.
Go get your line.
I can put that line in there pretty quick.
Put that line in and we'll see.
Oh, let's see, how did I do this?
You went through there, I'm pretty sure.
Well, let me see. Finagle it around there.
Hang on.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay. There we go. All right, that's in.
Oh, no, really going that way. There we go.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
You don't think that was fun to make out of one piece? I actually do enjoy it. It's a challenge.
Yeah, that line drops.
Oh yeah, see it's below the. You got a lot of room because the bottom of that weight bar was at the base, was at my fingernail. So we got all the clearance in the friggin' world. Yep. I'll be glad to get the firewall in pretty sometime so I can finish where this has to go. Same thing on the other side. I just ended both fire lines right here. Water is good.
That's good. I don't want people to see me do too much work.
That's okay.
They'll start expecting it.
Okay, what orientation do you want this to be?
I think.
Would you rather have it like that? I'm thinking so.
Well, I think something like that. Not square.
Okay.
Not straight up and down.
Okay.
But more like 45.
Well, I always try to get
Which you can adjust with the...
that looks better as far as the fire emblem.
Yeah.
But for some reason, these things never want to do what I want them to do with that.
Yeah. No, I
They
think...
have a mind of their own.
I think if you you just put it in however, and then rotate it to 45.
Ain't nothing worse than you having running that thing all the way back through there for the fire bottles in the back, and you get it about run back, and you go, oh, I forgot to put the nut on. You got to take it all back out. We've got pretty much our fire system now, the activation part finalized. We got the mount positioned where it needs to be. We've got our cables run, probably even shortened up a lot more than that. This one will be go roughly like that. This one will just flow with it, something like this. And like we do that at final assembly, it doesn't take much to do it. You just pull the handles out, cut it. Make sure you do that, otherwise you'll cut them short. And then you just fasten here with a little set screw. The lines have already been made from the bottles up to around this point. On this side, this bottle has a line that comes out, it'll run around, it comes down this tube, underneath the weight bars, and it'll come up right here. And that's where I ended it, because when we get the firewall in here, there's going to be a bulkhead fitting. And I have to tie that line into that bulkhead fitting. Then there will be another, and off of that bulkhead will be a line that'll run across here. And here you'll have a nozzle that shoots this fuel rail. It'll continue across and end here and just turn upward, and that'll shoot this fuel rail. That's all that bottle does, is hit these two rails. Humps over this, comes over here, runs down, across, back this way, but it doesn't just make straight bends. It's got to kind of go up a little bit here and down a little bit here to make it lay good. And it'll come along here, up along this tube, and come up here, and that's where I ended it here. Because once I get the firewall, the bulkhead here, there'll be first there'll be a T right here, and off of that T, we'll have a line come over and shoot down at your feet and back toward the driver. And then off that T, you come up through the firewall, and the line will run down this tube, around this, and go down here where it will end, and that shoots the fuel cell, the fuel pump, and anything, oil pump, anything up in the front of the motor has a nozzle for that. So one bottle has 2 nozzles for the fuel rails, the other bottle has your feet and the fuel cell in the front. This is our on-off switch, main cutoff switch. We usually mount them like this in the car in this general area. We've had a customer or two that preferred to have the thing like mounted, so it was the lever would move this way, but it never really lines up good with the cable and a lot of stuff, so we mounted it down here, but we've been refining that as we go. Our bracket is pretty much sort of what we've always had, but I added a bunch of adjustment holes here so you can index the switch, because that determines a lot to where this lever is going to wind up at, and it has like an 80-degree throw, so it moves a long ways, and you don't want it down here where you can't reach it. You don't want it, if you get it too far up, it'll hit this. So a lot of geometry here to kind of work out to get it so it works where it's supposed to be. This one turned out well. One of the major problems that we had with the other switch handle was this pivot point right here was never where we wanted it, and it was set with one position. And this means a lot, because if you have a 3-inch travel cable, normally you have about a 2.5 or 2 3/4 working area, and with this thing having such a long throw, as you can see with the switch, which you can't shorten that's built into the switch. You need to kind of have, the farther you make this pivot point down this way, the less the cable will travel for the lever moving the same distance. But you don't want to have it so far down that it maybe creates a little bit of a leverage issue when you go to knock the switch in the back, because you're losing a lot of your leverage here if you get it too close. So we worked it out to where this is pretty ideal. If you pull it back, the cable will actually go all the way down to those threads if you wanted to. And when you do this, you have probably 1/4 inch or at least more before you start to get near the end of this, where the crimp is. So we're really happy with this. This is a 3D printed handle that we're just using to kind of, I mocked it up with a thing I kind of cobbed together off the little handle that came with it, just to get an idea where this is going to go. Then I gave this information to Ryan, and he 3D printed off of what I gave him for dimensions, and we put it on, and I mean, this is slick. This is real easy for the driver to hit if he has to, and it's actually able to where he could grab this and turn it on if he had to. And this is going to be made out of billet aluminum, silver, could be black anodized too. Probably put a logo in here. But this is pretty much set about what it's going to be like. Maybe some minor changes. But everything worked out good here. I'm very happy with it. It's clean, it works, it's functional, it's out of the way of everything. And I like it when things work like that.
I didn't like how flimsy this was in the center after Zeusing it in here. So I added a 3rd Zeus hole across the tranny cross member. So just give it a little bit extra support. I'll either have 1 on each side here, or I'll put 2 on each side, and that'll hold the whole pan and that'll finalize it. We'll trim it out to make it look nicer in the back, but that'll be it. For today, I have the majority of the weight tabs in. Ended up with 6 inside the driver compartment, 4 up the tail section. Typically we put another 4 or so underneath of the deck lid, but we're contemplating weight bar tabs for plates and bars, or if we just want to put a box and put some lead shot in it on each side of the tail section. That more or less wraps those up for today. I gotta weld a couple of them out. The tranny pan is done, it's finalized. The engine pan is 75% done. We're waiting on a fuel pump. some fittings and stuff to see if we need to clearance the front of the pan for that stuff. We wrapped up fitment for our burn down hoses, so the oil vapors come out of the head through the hose, back through the top frame rail. And I know we've mentioned in the past, there's 2 hoses that'll go up through the tail section into the puke tank in the back. We still got to cut holes in the carbon for that, but the hoses are pretty much finalized. That's cut to length. There's still some more weight tabs to put on, but until we know about coil mounts, they typically run down this tube somewhere, mount the coils here. I don't want to put any tabs on this tube or the tube on the other side until we get that figured out, just so we don't end up doing the same thing twice.
Thanks for watching today's video. Cleetus will be in here next week. We got a few big videos planned for next week, so make sure you keep an eye out for next Tuesday and next Friday's video. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.